Very, very happy 2022 to you all. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here on time. I can already see there's lots of you watching this live and being here with me today. So I'm really excited. My goal for the next hour, half an hour to an hour here live on YouTube today is to give you as much step-by-step practical tips that you can take to immediately start improving your English pronunciation today. And I'm going to be showing you specific techniques and steps that you can apply to your English right away, so that by the end of today's live training, you're already going to feel more confident in your English pronunciation, and you're also going to be speaking more clearly. Okay. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that I've never ever taught before here on YouTube. So you're going to make sure that you want to watch all of this training, because it's going to be 100% action-packed. And if we've got some time at the end, I'm going to do some live Q&A. But I'm going to teach some really exciting stuff that I've never taught here today, that I've normally only ever taught in my coaching program. But I want to give it to you today to make sure that you get this year off to the best start possible, so that you can achieve your communication goals and your confidence goals in English this year. So just as we get started, just let me know who's here. So Shio, great to have you back. Happy New Year. Thanks for being here with me live today. Shio's a student in my coaching program, and she's from Japan, and she's doing an amazing job with her pronunciation. Marek, great to have you here, Marek. Very, very happy New Year to you. And Marek, where are you watching from today? Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from today, because I know we've got people watching from all over the world. Some are ahead of us. For example, Japan is, I think, 9 hours ahead of the UK at the moment. We might have some people watching from South America. We've got Alberto, who's watching here from London. Alberto is another client of mine who's done a fantastic job with his English pronunciation. Really, really amazing. If anyone wants proof of what you can achieve with your English pronunciation, then Shio and Alberto are two incredible people who've achieved a lot with their pronunciation and are a huge inspiration. So Marek's in Tenerife, who's Polish-British. Fantastic, Marek. I have a little bit of Polish blood in me as well, but I only found that out not too many years ago. So unfortunately, I can't speak any Polish yet. But you're watching from Tenerife, nice, probably a lot warmer here than the UK. And Jamil, good to have you on. Thanks for joining live today, Jamil. Great to have you here. And Marek is a teacher of English. Fantastic. Cool. Really, really good stuff. Well, Marek, hopefully you will pick up some bits today that you can use in your teaching of English, if that's useful. And Diver, great to have you here as well. Where are you watching from today, Diver? Let me know. So, thank you everyone for commenting on my poll about what you want to learn today. I said, what do you want to learn about? Connected speech, confusing vowel sounds, or difficult consonant sounds. And an overwhelming majority of you talked about connected speech. And I'm really pleased about that, because what I'm going to focus on teaching you today is how to essentially create an operating system for you to speak English, so that it makes it very, very easy to actually integrate any pronunciation improvements that you want to make in your English speaking. If you've ever tried to improve your English pronunciation in the past and struggled, it's not your fault. And the reason why it's not your fault is because you've probably been trying to improve your English pronunciation whilst using the operating system of your native language. What do I mean? Every language has a way of speaking it. You connect words in certain ways, you have certain rhythm patterns, certain intonations, and English has its own operating system. It has an operating system that makes English unique. And when most people learn pronunciation, they never get taught about this operating system, which means that if you're getting taught all these pronunciation tips, but you don't have an operating system for English, it's going to make it really, really hard for you to actually integrate pronunciation improvements into your English speaking. So my main focus in my pronunciation coaching program, apart from actually overcoming the difficult sounds that you might not have in your native language, is creating an operating system like a native English speaker has, so that you can actually speak English like a native. And then once you can do that, it's very easy to then make specific improvements with regards to sounds you find difficult or anything like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at here today. Okay, and a few benefits of doing this is, one, if you've tried improving your pronunciation before and struggled to integrate those improvements when you actually speak English, this will help with that. Two, if you ever find that you feel like you're choking when you speak English and that the words are just not coming out properly, this will help you with that. Also, if you find that you're pausing unnaturally in English, this will also help you with that. So not only is what you're going to learn today going to make it much easier to improve your English pronunciation as a whole, it's also going to enable you to speak much more clearly and much more naturally right from today. Okay, so I'm really excited to teach this to you. So let's dive in. I can see there's lots of comments coming in. Sapna, Giovanni, Ritu, Taru, Marek. Thanks everyone for commenting. I'm really pleased to have you here today. And let's dive in. So one of the main things that you can do to quickly improve your connected speech, which is one of the critical areas that brings English together, is to learn how to actually connect your English from word to word. So in many languages, you will pause between words, or there might be subtle lines in between the words that English doesn't have. And if you don't know how to overcome this in English, what it means is that when you're speaking English, you will, or you might feel like you're choking. Okay, so I'm going to teach you two techniques. One I've never even taught on my YouTube channel. I've only ever taught it in my course to my premium clients. I'm going to teach that to you here today. But first of all, I'm going to teach what I call the whispering technique. Okay, so there are certain rules of connected speech, and there's tons and tons and tons of videos that teach these rules. But just knowing the rules isn't going to enable you to actually do this in your English. You need to know certain techniques that will enable you to do this. And there's two techniques I created for my clients that enables them to consistently overcome their difficulties in applying these rules to their English. The first technique is the singing technique. Okay, actually, we'll get to the singing technique afterwards. Let's start with the whispering technique. Okay, so when we speak English, if you put your hand on your throat and just speak English, just say anything, say, my name is, and then say your name. Okay, just do that. What you will feel is there are vibrations in your throat. Your throat is vibrating. Okay, and that's natural. That's how we speak English. But one thing that can make it harder to speak English, especially in the context of connected speech, is to be using the voicing in your throat when you're trying to take certain things that are hard to connect. Okay, so let me just write a phrase on the whiteboard behind me, okay, just to exemplify this. So what we'll say is, the phrase is, and I'll use a different color pen here, we'll use a green pen. Okay, we'll say, I'm eating an apple. Okay, so the phrase, very, very simple, I'm eating an apple. Can you see that? Can everyone see the phrase I've written here? Just let me know in the comments if you can. Okay, I'm eating an apple. So when I'm working with clients in my coaching program, what I often hear is that they'll pause between I'm and eating. There'll be a subtle pause in airflow. There might also be a pause between eating and an, and possibly a pause between an and apple as well. So what you might get is 3 subtle pauses, which would sound like I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. Okay. I'm pausing in between each word there. Now, as a native speaker, I would never pause between these words if this was the phrase. It would all be one block of connected speech. Okay. But when people try and say this with connected speech, if they don't know the techniques to apply to the rules, then they can feel like they're choking. All right. So if I was to say this, I would say, I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. Okay. And before I break down the 2 techniques you're going to learn today, let me teach you a concept that you can apply to phrases in English that will help you to see in your head how to stop pausing unnaturally. Okay. I want you to think of this phrase here, okay, as one long word. So if I used a long word in English, a good example of this is proletarianization. If I said the word proletarianization, where there's lots of different syllables, proletarianization, there's at least 8 syllables in there, maybe even 9. 9 syllables in one word, but I'm not pausing between any of those syllables. Okay. The word is said without any unnatural pauses, and I don't feel like I'm choking when I'm trying to say the word. How many syllables are in this phrase here? Let me know in the comments how many syllables you think are in this word, in this phrase here. Okay. Let me know in the comments how many syllables you think are in this phrase here, because being able to recognize how many syllables there are in English is a very, very useful thing as well. That's really going to help you with your connected speech. Okay, so Maddox says 7. Maddox, you are absolutely right. Really, really good. So what we've got here is a whole phrase where there's 7 syllables. I'm eating an apple. Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm eating an apple. I beg your pardon, it's 6. It's not 7, it's 6. That was my mistake, it's 6. Okay. 6 syllables. But if you were saying this, you might pause 3 times unnaturally and unnecessarily. Compare that to the word proletarianization, 9 syllables, not 1 pause. So what I want you to do is to think of the phrase as one long word. Okay, think of the phrase as one long word. So whatever phrase you want to say, think of it as one long word. All right. Now you might say to me, okay, but what about if it's a really long phrase? Or how do I know, how to break a phrase up? The answer is this. When we speak, we don't speak in terms of words. We speak in terms of ideas. Okay, so one idea that I want to express is I'm eating an apple. Okay, I'm eating an apple. That's one idea. If I extended this phrase to I'm eating an apple because I'm hungry and thirsty, I could say that that is 2 phrases. I'm eating an apple because I'm hungry and thirsty. Or I could also argue that it's 1 phrase. Both would be okay here. But when you think of your speech, think of adding pauses in between ideas, which is a group of words. An idea is a group of words, but not in between every single word. Okay, if you do that, you're going to be able to identify where you should put pauses in your English speaking and where you should not have pauses. Okay, so the first tip, and this really is a very, very important tip, is for connected speech, to think of your English in terms of ideas and phrases and not individual words. That's the first tip that will enable you to conceptualize how to then apply the two techniques that you're about to learn to your English speaking, to master connected speech and to stop pausing unnaturally. Okay? So, if we now think of this phrase as one long word, okay, without pauses, what you get is, I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. Let me go ahead and say that 3 times, nice and slowly now, okay? And I want you to all follow along with me out loud. And let me know in the comments if you feel like there's a pause in your airflow as you say this phrase. Bonus tip to be aware of, an is what I call a rhythmic word in English. It's a word that gives English its rhythm because it's an unstressed word, especially in this context, which means that we reduce its pronunciation from an to un. So, I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. Can you hear how un barely has any stress? And it's very quick, it's very quiet. It's there, but it's not a stressed word in this phrase. Okay? So, let me go ahead and say the phrase 3 times slowly now. Follow along with me and see if you're pausing. Okay? I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. One more time. I'm eating an apple. All right. Did you feel like you paused unnaturally at any stage during that phrase? Let me know in the comments, yes you did, or no you didn't. Did you pause or not? All right. Just whilst you do that, I'm just going to write something up here, but I'm going to use a different colour to make it clear. Okay, so let me see if anyone was pausing or not. Okay, so in this phrase, like I've already said, we think of it as one word without pauses. Okay, and what we do in connected speech in this particular example is each of the 3 words after the first word begins in a vowel sound. And the sound before the next word, so the last sound of each word, is a consonant. What does that mean? It means that we can release the consonant at the beginning of the next word. Okay? We don't stress the consonant at the beginning of the next word, because if not, that would then make it sound like it was different words. But what we do is, if I say, I'm eating, in connected speech, I come out of the M sound at the beginning of the next syllable. So, I'm eating, I'm eating, I'm eating. The same goes for eating an. So here we've got the sound. Don't mistakenly pronounce this as a g. It's not I'm eating an apple. It's I'm eating an apple. So eating. I release this sound at the beginning of the n pronunciation. Eating an. All right. And then the same goes for an apple. I release the N sound at the beginning of the next word. Okay, now there's lots of different connected speech rules. I'm not going to go through all of them here. Okay, I have taught them in other places on YouTube, but I also teach them in very comprehensive detail, step by step in my course. And in my course, I'll then show you how to apply the rules and then integrate them into your speaking. But for now, I've just broken down this phrase so you can see exactly what we do in the context of this phrase. Now let me give you 2 techniques to be able to pronounce this without pausing. Okay? Like I said, when you put your hand on your throat and say this phrase, I'm eating an apple, or if you say, my name is Michael, you will feel vibrations in your throat. Okay? And when you're speaking with voicing, it often makes it harder to speak without pauses. Okay, so the first thing that we can do to overcome this is a British accent method technique I created called the whispering technique. And all you're going to do is say the phrase here, but you're going to whisper it. You're going to imagine that you're speaking to someone in the same room where there's a baby that's sleeping, and you don't want to wake the baby up because if not it'll start crying. So you want to be whispering so that you don't wake the baby up. Okay? And what you're going to do is two things. One, I want you to imagine that when you say this phrase, you're doing a big sigh out. Okay, again, and follow along with me. If you want to get the best results from this, follow along with me, okay? Just do a big sigh now. One more time. Okay. When you sigh, there's no voicing in your throat. So I want you to say this phrase whilst you sigh and whisper it. Okay, so like this, follow along. I'm eating an apple. And you don't want to break the sigh. You don't want to say, where you pause the airflow. It's a continuous release of airflow. Okay, and you're going to whisper the phrase. Follow along. I'm eating an apple. Again. I'm eating an apple. One more time. I'm eating an apple. All right. Let me know in the comments who was able to do that without feeling like there was a pause in their airflow. For some of you, that will have fixed it. Okay, but for others, you will still be pausing. And there's no right or wrong. If you're pausing still, that's not a problem. The next technique will fix it. If that's stopped you from pausing though, that's really good. And if it has done, then the next technique, or the next step once you can do that, is to just feel how the airflow is coming out continuously when you do that. And then the step after that is to gradually bring the voicing back into your throat. Okay? Even if that did enable you to say it without pausing, I still recommend the technique that you're about to learn in a moment, because this is really the most powerful technique that you can use to overcome these pauses in your English speaking. Okay? Just so you know, because it's 2022, I've got a special offer on my British Accent Method coaching program today, okay, which you can get at britishaccentmethod.com/program. There you can get access to my complete 12-week pronunciation course, where we start by building you a native English speaking operating system so that you can understand how to speak English like a native, so that you can quickly and effectively then overcome the specific sounds that are stopping you from speaking clearly or affecting your accent and confidence in English. Okay, it all starts by building your English operating system, and then on top of that you can master bronze, silver, and gold level English pronunciation. And at the moment, if you join the course, there's a number of bonuses that you will get, including my 30-day confidence fast track, which is a step-by-step 30-day pronunciation program that's designed to give you a breakthrough in your English communication in just 30 days. It's a proven course. It gets my clients results every time, and it's one of my students' favorite things in my entire program, because it helps them to make such a big improvement to their pronunciation and their confidence in English so quickly. Okay, so britishaccentmethod.com/program. Check that out if you are serious this year about mastering your pronunciation and your confidence in English. I'm just going to have a quick drink and see the comments that are coming in. Okay, so Claire says, wow, this technique you've just showed is great. Thank you, Michael. Claire, you're absolutely welcome. I'm really pleased to hear that it's bringing you value as well. That's really good. Zulkifli, great to have you back. I've seen your comments on my channel recently. I haven't had the chance to respond, but I've seen them and I appreciate them, so thank you very much. And Zulkifli says, excuse me a second. Taking a breath in and whispering technique is a rather excellent method. It really helps in getting a very clear British accent. Thanks a lot, Michael. Zulkifli, you're absolutely welcome. And yeah, completely agree. Really completely agree. Okay. You're absolutely right. And Leoberto, great to have you back, Leoberto. Seja bem-vindo aqui. It's really good to see you again. Leoberto lives in Brazil, in the very place that I used to live in, which is when I started my journey of pronunciation, when I was having difficulties with Portuguese pronunciation, and all of that led into teaching pronunciation like I do today. So Leoberto, great to have you here. And Giovanni, good to have you here too. Okay, so Giovanni also has said something interesting. Giovanni was saying, I was pausing only after the I suppose. So what Giovanni has said here is when he said, I am eating an apple, Giovanni was pausing here, which is very common, but it's unnecessary, and really we could try and avoid it in a phrase as short as this, and it will make your English, once you know how to say it without feeling like you're choking, it will make your English flow much more smoothly like a native, okay? So, just another drink and then we'll carry on. Right, so we've looked at the whispering technique, and the great thing about the whispering technique is you are focusing, when you do it, on exhaling continuously, okay? Which, without having to worry about your voice and actually making sounds, okay? Because if you're finding certain sounds difficult in English, or you're just having to worry about making sounds, it can take your focus away from actually your breath, which is what we want to master here as part of your foundational operating system in English, okay? Getting your breath right is very, very important if you want to speak like a native. And this is where so many people struggle, because when they're learning pronunciation, they never get taught about how to breathe out correctly when they're speaking. And this specifically is what we focus on in stage one, in the operating system part of the British accent method, okay? So the whispering technique, that should have helped, but if it hasn't, it doesn't matter, because the next technique is even more powerful, and I just love using it with my students, because I've had students from all over the world, China, Japan, Europe, South America, Central America, all different countries, Russia, that have really struggled to not pause in English, but this technique has helped them, okay? So this technique is the singing technique, okay? It's another British accent method technique that we use to enable you to stop pausing unnaturally and quickly and effectively build your English operating system. And what we do is this. Very simply, and don't be misled by how simple this technique is. You might think it's very, very simple, but it's powerful because it's so simple. We take this phrase, we imagine it's one long word, and then we sing it, okay? Now, one of my goals is actually to learn how to sing this year, because I always had limiting beliefs that I couldn't sing, and I can't sing. If you hear me sing now, which you're about to do, you're going to see why I think that I can't sing, because I'm really bad at singing. And one thing I want to do in 2022 is actually to learn how to sing, okay? But whether you can sing or you can't sing, that doesn't matter. The singing technique works. So if we sing this phrase, and go ahead and sing out loud now, okay, as long as you can, as long as you're not in a place where people are going to start thinking you're weird, go ahead and do this with me, okay? Let's go. I'm eating an apple. I'm eating an apple. Unlike the whispering technique where we were making sure there was no voicing in our throat, this time we're going to make sure that there's continuous voicing in our throat. Okay, so I want you to put your hand on your throat and say, I'm eating an apple. The only time the voicing breaks is on the voiceless consonants like T and P. But other than that, the voicing stays. And what we want to do as well is if we put our hand in front of our mouth, we want to feel continuous airflow. I'm eating an apple. Again. I'm eating an apple. And very simply, just imagine that this is one long word and that you're singing it. It really is as simple as that. Okay, now can you let me know in the comments now? Okay, I'm just going to read some messages. I want to see who was struggling to say this phrase without pausing at all, who is now saying it without pausing. Okay, Alberto has kindly said the course is worth every penny. Thank you, Alberto. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. Like I said, Alberto is one of my clients in my course. And from my perspective, he speaks like a native. He has got gold level English pronunciation. And if you didn't know that he wasn't from this country, I think you could quite easily think that he was an English speaker, a native English speaker, because his pronunciation is so good. And the same with Shio, who's also in my program. She said the whispering has fixed her speaking British English. And again, Shio, as a Japanese speaker, her pronunciation is just remarkable. Okay, they're two clients who I'm really proud to have in my program because I'm so proud of their improvements and how good they're doing. Okay, so let's just see the comments that are coming in. Giovanni says, I'm trying this, and to be honest, I almost don't see any stop. Fantastic, 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 fantastic. Okay, you might not get it immediately, but if you practice it a few times and just focus properly on the whispering or the singing, it's remarkable how quickly you get it. Every month I do a live coaching session with my course students, and we work through this, and everyone gets one-to-one feedback. And it's amazing in real time seeing how phrases that you'd naturally pause with can quickly be overcome by implementing this. Okay, so Luis says, hola, saludos desde Colombia. Luis, great to have you watching from Colombia. I'm really, really grateful to have you here. And difficult pronunciation and vocabulary says, thanks a lot, sir. You're absolutely welcome. And thank you all for all of your comments on the YouTube channel recently. Okay, great, cool. So what we've got there is we've looked here at three key essential things that you can use to master connected speech. It doesn't matter if you know all the rules to connected speech. If you don't know how to actually apply those rules like a native English speaker, then you may as well not know them. Okay, and that's why the focus here isn't on the rules, because you can learn the rules anywhere. The focus is on mastering and actually implementing this into your English speech by using these British accent method techniques. Okay, so I want to give you some steps that you can take away with you today to immediately start to integrate this into your English speaking. Okay, so the first step is I would write out 10 phrases that you know that you would use in a conversation in English. Okay, for example, and this is very important, okay, when I work with clients in my program, we look at the English they use in their day-to-day lives. If they use English in their work, if they use English in their social life, what kind of job they have. We focus this around the English they use in their careers or where they need it. So if you just speak English to friends, then I want you to choose 10 phrases that you know that you will use the next time that you speak English. Okay, if you use English in the workplace, I want you to take 10 words that are specific to your profession and create a phrase for each of these words. Okay, so for example, one lady that I work with in my program is she's a COVID specialist. She worked for one of the big pharmaceutical companies, and she was on the news in her country and some of the surrounding countries as a COVID specialist. So if I was working with her on this technique, what I would have said is, let's choose 10 words specific to either COVID or to virology or to the vaccine or whatever, that you know that you're going to use the next time that you speak English on TV. Because especially a couple of years, last year, she was doing a lot of TV work as a COVID specialist. So I'd have said, okay, what are 5 words that you know that you're going to use when you're speaking English to discuss COVID? And let's put them into a phrase. It doesn't matter the phrase. It can be nice and simple. For example, I don't know, we now have a vaccine. Okay, that could be a phrase that would be relevant for her. Probably wouldn't be relevant for you, but if you work as an engineer, a civil engineer, you might say, I don't know, the project will be complete next week, or you've got to make this relevant to you because this is how you master English pronunciation for yourself and get confident in your career and in your life. Okay, so you're going to choose 10 phrases. Okay, and to make this easy, because we're all about consistency, we know that to get results, you need to be consistent over time. So I don't want you to do 2 hours on this today and then no more hours on this for the rest of the week or the month. I want you to make daily improvements in your life in English, especially in January, but over the rest of the year, using the British accent method by making it very, very simple for you to do every day. Okay, I'm sure you're busy. Everyone that I work with in my program is a busy professional. So we have to work out how to fit this into your life. And the easiest way to do that is to do little bits every day that give you an improvement every day that you can measure and see your progress. Okay, so 10 phrases, you're going to work on one new phrase every day. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to, first of all, take the phrase and imagine it as one long word. Okay, you're going to imagine it as one long word. Then you're going to, ideally, if you're really up for this, this is what you'd do. If you're really serious, you will record yourself saying the phrase at the beginning. Okay, so for example, if I say, my phrase is, I'm going to the shops tomorrow. I'm going to the shops tomorrow. Now, if I don't know how, I might naturally in English, okay, if English isn't my first language, say, I'm going to the shops tomorrow. Okay, I record myself saying that and I listen to it back and I hear where I'm pausing. Okay, the more aware you can be of where you're pausing, the easier and quicker you're going to be able to overcome them. Okay, so first of all, you record yourself saying it before you apply any of the techniques. Okay, then you imagine it as one long word. And then you first apply the whispering technique to it and see which pauses that removes. And you do this by imagining that you're exhaling and sighing. So, I'm going to the shops tomorrow. I'm going to the shops tomorrow. In one long breath out, and you're not allowed to pause your breath. You are not allowed to pause your breath. That's the secret, okay? Then, if you still feel like you're choking or pausing unnaturally, you're going to apply the singing technique to it. I'm going to the shops tomorrow. I'm going to the shops tomorrow. okay? And record yourself back doing both of them, and you should immediately be able to hear how the pauses are disappearing, okay? Just imagine how much more confident you would be if all the common things that you knew that you said in your English every day, you could say them in a way that was just like a native speaker. What would that do for your confidence? What would that do for your ability to go for career progression, go for promotions, to lead other people, to speak up in meetings or feel confident giving a presentation? What would that do for your confidence if you knew that you were able to say this just like a native speaker? By applying these techniques to the English that you use every day is how you can not just speak like a native in English, but become a native, okay? If you're someone that uses English in your life, you are not an outsider. You might feel like an outsider if you don't get the respect that you deserve, or if you feel like you struggle to speak, or you don't feel like yourself in English. But if you can become confident in your accent and pronunciation and see how people respond to you differently because your English is clear and you're confident and you're speaking with the same confidence that you would have in your native language, you become a native, okay? If you're speaking English in your life, you're like me, you're a native English speaker, okay? But I want you to feel like a native with the confidence that you desire and deserve, okay? So that's your homework for today, all right? If you are serious about mastering your pronunciation and seeing, because today we've just looked at a very, very, very small portion of how to build your native English speaking operating system in English. Even if you watch all the pronunciation tutorials on YouTube in the world, if you don't know how to apply them to your English speaking like a native English speaker would, you're always going to struggle to actually integrate them and use them in your English speaking. That's why if you've tried learning pronunciation from books or apps or other videos or even other courses, and you've not been able to take the improvements and use them in your English speaking, it's probably because you haven't built a native English speaking operating system. And that's what we focus on doing in the British Accent Method coaching program. We build your English operating system so that you start speaking like a native, and then any specific difficulties you have with sounds or challenging words, you can then overcome them through the bronze, silver, gold British Accent Method implementation process. Okay, so if you want to join my coaching program, all you need to do is go to britishaccentmethod.com/program. There's a number of bonuses that I've stacked all the bonuses because it's January. I really, really, really want you to get this year off to the good start with all the confidence that you want for yourself in English. So all of my best bonuses are currently available in the course. So go to britishaccentmethod.com/program. Everything you need is there to get started. And if you join, then you're going to get exclusive access as well to my 30-day confidence fast track, which is designed to accelerate yourself to a breakthrough in your confidence and your communication in English in just the first 30 days. Just to give you an idea of how powerful this is, I won't say his name, but I have a client who is from India, and he spoke with a very strong English accent, and he'd tried other pronunciation courses in the past and failed with all of them. And as a result of that, he had the belief that he couldn't learn English pronunciation. He believed that he couldn't learn English pronunciation, and it was terrible because what he was finding was, because he was living in the UK, but his pronunciation made him hard to understand, he felt like he got treated differently because of his accent. He felt like he didn't get the respect that he deserved. And this was in places like when he went to the doctor's surgery for health concerns, but he also felt like this in his career. And he was over here because he was an expert. So he was highly qualified, highly skilled, but he didn't feel like he was getting the respect that he deserved, even in the workplace. And he also felt like he couldn't then improve his pronunciation because he tried all these other solutions in the past and none of them had worked for him. He took the 30-day confidence fast track, which specializes in building your native English operating system, understanding how to speak English like a native with rhythm, with the rules that we've looked at today, and how to take all the high frequency words that you use every day in English and integrate them into your English speaking like a native. And what he said was, not only did it give him a massive breakthrough in his confidence, it gave him the belief that he was able to actually learn pronunciation. He suddenly realized, actually, I can learn pronunciation. I'm someone that can do it. I'm not someone that doesn't have this ability. It gave him the belief that he had this ability. And then it also gave him then the confidence to then tackle all the other areas like sounds that he was struggling with, because he knew that he could do it, and he built his foundation, his operating system, which would enable him then to integrate all the things into his English speaking that he'd never been able to do before. And as a result of that, he felt like he started getting much more respect in all areas that he spoke English. When he went to talk about his health concerns to the doctors, he was getting more respect. He was getting more respect in the workplace from his boss and from his colleagues. And he's ultimately gone on to get an even better job and is doing really, 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 really well. So that's just one example of many. And the reason why I tell you this story is because if you're someone right now that feels like you don't get the respect that you deserve, or you feel like you're a different person in English to how you are in your native language, if you feel like you're less confident in English, or that you keep quiet in English because you feel like you'll be judged when you speak, or if you feel like you don't have the confidence to go for promotions, or to speak in meetings and really perform at the level that you are as a professional, this is the whole reason why I created the British Accent Method coaching program. It's specifically designed to give professionals like you the clear and confident communication in English that you deserve, so that you can live like a native, speak like a native, and live your best life in English. So if you want to achieve this for yourself in English in 2022, go to britishaccentmethod.com/program. There's lots of bonuses there. They might not be there for much longer. I haven't decided yet. So go there now to avoid missing out. There's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. Okay, 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. And this isn't just a 30-day money back guarantee. I want to guarantee that you will have the confidence to progress your career with English based on my course. So in 30 days time, if you don't see yourself improving at a rate that will give you the confidence to go for any job interview that you want to get, or speak English in any situation, a meeting, a presentation, an important lecture if you're at university, then email me and I'll give you your money back. Okay, I'm so confident in the results and so proud of the results that my students and clients are getting in the program that I 100% will give you your money back if you're not satisfied with the results you're achieving. Okay, and I can say that with confidence because so many people have gone through the program, created breakthroughs in their confidence, got promoted, got the jobs that they're capable of, re-become the person that they are in their native language, but in English, and have gone on to live the life that they want to lead speaking English. And I want that for you. I love, love, love helping people like you to achieve this. And it's my mission. I'm here fighting for your confidence in English. So if you want to work with me in the program, head to britishaccentmethod.com/program. Head there today, join up. There's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. You get instant access to everything, plus a live a complete archive of all the live coaching sessions that I've done with my clients in the course, my monthly group coaching sessions, where we tackle specific areas that professionals struggle with in English pronunciation, difficult sounds, intonation, everything that we've looked at today, connected speech, how to apply all the British accent techniques to your English to create the breakthrough that you're looking for. And yeah, you get it all today when you join. Okay, so head there now. But just whilst you go there and join up, if that's what you want to do today, I'm just going to go through and read some of the comments, because there have been lots of lovely comments coming in. And if anyone has any questions, just whilst I read the comments about the coaching program, then post a comment now, and I will be very happy just to read that, read them and answer them for you. Okay. So Shio says, I really recommend to take Michael's course. He will make a miracle to your life in English. Thank you, Shio, so much. I really appreciate that. And like I said, it's been a pleasure having you in the program and seeing the incredible progress that you've made as a Japanese speaker. It's incredible, and I'm really proud to have you in the program. Anglophobia, you've been commenting on so many of my videos, so thank you so much. I've loved reading all of your comments. And you're saying you're a student, you're not a teacher. You're happy, I am not unhappy. I believe these are the 10 statements that you're going to apply the 2 techniques that we looked at today to master connected speech. Is that right? I believe so. Well done for writing them out right away. That's really good. And commit to doing 1 a day, Anglophobia, and that's going to give you the breakthrough in your connected speech that you're looking for. Okay. So VMKT999, I love the English accent very much. Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks for loving the English accent. And it's a pleasure. I'm glad that you like it, and I'm glad that this has helped you. So VMKT999 is from India. Excellent. Good. I'd love to be in India right now. I'm sure it's a lot warmer than here in England, where it's very cold. Anglophobia said, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. First I freshen up. Okay, cool. So Anglophobia has put some comments in here that he's going to be, or he, she, I'm not sure if Anglophobia, but you're going to be using to apply this to. Alexandra, great to have you on the live. Alexandra, thanks for joining. Alexandra is also in my coaching program, and Alexandra is from Brazil, and she has done an incredible job with her pronunciation. Something that was really challenging for her when she joined was connected speech, and she was attending all of my live coaching sessions. And what's been amazing for me is over the last few months to see how she has transformed her English, and is sounding really good. I'm really proud. Her English is fantastically clear now, and she's done a really good job. So Alexandra, well done. It's great to have you here, and thanks for joining me today live as well. Difficult pronunciation and vocabulary said, had I not seen your old videos, I could not understand your great accent easily. You are not nice, but they deemed family. Okay, thank you, difficult vocabulary. Cool, so I think that's all the comments. MD Chowdhury, good to have you back here as well. I hope I pronounced your name correctly there. And Alberto said, oh, Fabienne's here. Fabienne, great to have you back, Fabienne. Fabienne is also in my program. One thing I love about the coaching program is I get to know the people who join. So Fabienne's from France. And again, Fabienne was someone who hadn't had much fun with English in the past because of how she'd been taught it in school. Again, she'd had the belief that she couldn't speak English really well. But she's someone that's been consistent with the program. She's made a really big effort, and she's done a really good job. And again, it's been a pleasure for me to see how she's improved, because her English is sounding incredible. She's from France, and I'm really proud of her pronunciation. She's done a really good job. So Fabienne, thank you for joining me as well. And Alberto said the course is absolutely great. Thank you, Alberto. I really appreciate that. Fabienne said, I agree with Shio. Michael's program is easy and the group is very nice. You'll make great progress in English. And I hope everyone can see here as well. One thing probably my favorite thing about the program. I like helping people make improvements. But what I really like is the fact that we have a community. It's not just a case of, with a lot of courses where you buy the course and that's that. We have a community of professionals from all around the world, from all different backgrounds, all different languages, all different professionals. We've got some students, we've got some people that are retired, we've got some doctors, some lawyers, some people in, some business owners, all different backgrounds. Anyone you can imagine, but everyone is really friendly. Everyone's really supportive. We've had friendships be created. And it really is my favorite part about doing what I do, is getting to be part of such a fun and kind and supportive community of people that are getting really good results. So thanks everyone for your comments. I really appreciate it. Cool, right. So Mina says, teacher, you're from Morocco. Thank you so much for my work. You're absolutely welcome, Mina. Great to have you here. And I think Morocco is probably a lot warmer than London right now. So I hope you're having a nice warm day. And Inglophobia says, I hope you're all paying whole attention to Mr. Michael Roberts. He's a great teacher. Thank you, Inglophobia. And I'll just answer one more question. So Prashant says, hello, Michael. Is fluency in speaking directly linked to improving accent, or both? Are both different? Good question. Good question. A lot of people say, I want to be fluent in English. Okay. One moment. So you can look at fluency in different ways. Okay, you can look at fluency. I see fluency as I see pronunciation in the context of a language. You can learn a language, you can have incredible knowledge of a language, but if you don't know how to pronounce the language, then people won't understand you. You're going to struggle to speak in the language, and you're probably not going to have much fun speaking the language. And this is how most people learn languages. This is how I learned Portuguese. I had a terrible time because I ignored pronunciation until I realized how important pronunciation was. Fluency is the same thing. You can look at being fluent in terms of being able to put together a sentence in your head, or be able to think about what you want to say. I can imagine lots of things that I would like to say in Japanese. I can speak a bit of Japanese. It's not very good because I've not spoken it for a long time. But I can still imagine lots of things that I would like to say in Japanese. But because I have not spoken it for a very, very long time, the elements of pronunciation that give Japanese its pronunciation and that would make me sound fluent, I don't have at the moment. So I probably wouldn't sound fluent. Okay, I definitely wouldn't sound fluent, right? The same applies to English. So you can know all the English in the world, but if you don't know how to apply the techniques that we've looked at here today, your English isn't going to sound fluent. It's going to sound broken. Different people have different... a good question to ask for everyone is what does fluency mean to you? To me, fluency means being able to express myself naturally. Okay, express myself naturally and fluidly. Okay, so to be fluent in English, if you're pausing all the time unnaturally and you feel like you're choking when you're speaking, you're not going to probably feel very fluent. Even if in your head your knowledge is fluent, if you can't speak without pausing unnaturally, you're probably not going to feel fluent. Okay, so specifically the techniques that we've looked at today, the whispering technique, the singing technique, and the word technique, looking at phrases as long words, these will enable you to start speaking fluently. Okay, so if you do the homework that I told you, you take 10 phrases. If you're pausing unnaturally in those phrases, they won't feel fluent, okay, or they might not sound fluent. But if you apply these techniques to them and then say them smoothly and naturally like a native English speaker, then I can guarantee that you're going to sound fluent in these phrases. And think of it like this. If I learned your language and all I did was learn how to say, hello, my name is Michael, but I learned how to say it really fluently, just like you would say it in your native language. You would then probably think, if you just heard me say that I'm a speaker of your language. But I'm not. I can just say one sentence, but I can say it really nicely. So if you can only say a few things, but you can say them really fluently, that still gives your English a really high quality that will give you the confidence that you want. Okay, so that's my opinion on fluency, and I hope that helps. Does that help? Does that answer the question? Maddox says, I agree that pronunciation is the best key to communicate with others. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it can always be better. 100%, 100%. You know, what is perfect pronunciation? That's relative to every individual person. Every individual person has a different idea of what is perfect. What's perfect to me is you speaking clearly and confidently in a way that's easy to understand and in a way that gives you the confidence that you have in your native language. Okay, that for me is about what it's all about. Okay, Maddox, I completely agree with you. Anglophobia, you wish to come to London. I'd love to meet you too personally. I'd love to meet everyone on this live today personally, and hopefully someday I will. Okay. Cool. Anglophobia says, Michael has taught me many things in English, although I have never seen him physically. Well, Anglophobia, I'm really glad to hear that. And well done for all your comments and participation on my video. Spike Jen, great to have you here. Thanks for joining. I'm actually just about to draw this to a close now, but Spike, if you've only just joined now, watch this back. Okay, I guarantee it'll be the best use of an hour that you spent so far this year. And if you disagree with me, then you can unsubscribe and never watch one of my videos again. But I would love you to watch this back because I've given what I know is really powerful advice here that can really help. Okay. Just whilst I carry on engaging with the comments, if you are interested in joining my coaching program, there's some special bonuses I've got with the course today, which you can see at BritishAccentMethod.com/program, and check it out. I'm going to stay here just answering some questions or reading some comments. But if you're interested in mastering your pronunciation this year, head there now. Okay. Shio says, in my opinion about fluency, toddlers in the UK can speak English fluently because they can tell people how they feel and what they like naturally. I completely agree. I completely agree with Shio here. I also would say, though, that I believe adult learners of English have a benefit in that, yes, toddlers can speak fluently, but we can speak more fluently because as learners of English, especially as adults, we can very quickly learn new vocabulary. And then if you take that vocabulary and just apply the techniques that we've learned here today to that vocabulary, then it's very, very easy for you to gain fluency with anything that you want to say in English. In the British Accent Method coaching program, for sounds that you find challenging, that your native language doesn't have, we have what I call the 5S integration system, okay, or process. Sound, surround, sentence, stress, speak. Whichever sound you find difficult in English, step one is to learn how to pronounce the sound on its own. Step two is to surround that sound with other sounds, because what tends to happen in English is when you can say a sound, other sounds will make that sound more difficult to pronounce. And just 2 days ago, I did a big group coaching session with clients of my coaching program, and we were looking at how the T sound can be affected by sounds that surround it, okay, and change the pronunciation of it in a negative way. And we were looking at how to pronounce the T sound when it then is surrounded by other sounds that would typically affect its pronunciation, which we don't want to happen. So you learn the sound, you then learn how to surround that sound, both before and afterwards, with other sounds, and essentially create words with the difficult sound in. Okay, and then that's going to give you massive confidence once you know how to take a difficult sound, but pronounce it clearly in the words that you want to use. Then you put it into a sentence and you apply stress and rhythm and connected speech to it and all the techniques that we've looked here today. Sound, surround, sentence, stress. And then finally, we focus on actually taking that sentence and then integrating it into your English speaking so that you can use it in your daily life. This is the 5-step integration process that we use in the British Accent Method coaching program to integrate sounds that are currently maybe even impossible for you quickly and effectively into your English speaking. Okay, so why did I say that? It's because if you want to gain fluency, whether it's words or specific sounds that are causing you difficulty, there is a process to step-by-step overcome these difficulties. And yeah, that is the British Accent Method process. Martha, great to have you on here, Martha. I'm not sure if I've acknowledged you yet, so thanks for being here with me today. Martha says, I'm wondering whether it's possible to have an interactive session in future where learners can record short phrases for you to gauge their level of understanding on what you've taught. So, Martha, maybe here, this can't be done on YouTube because I can only teach to you on YouTube. I do this on a regular basis in my coaching program. This is the whole point of my coaching program. One of the benefits that you get isn't just the program itself, but then you get my group coaching sessions where we actually then work through this with you so that you can know that you're doing it correctly and overcoming your difficulties. Okay. Again, one part of the program that you get is coaching sessions, because it's no good. I'm not the kind of person that wants to sell a course and then leave you on your own to succeed or not succeed, you know, which is what most courses do. I'm there to really make sure that you get the results that I know that you can achieve if you have access to the program. Okay, so when you're in the program, we do lots of this feedback thing where you can gauge your progress and get my feedback on the specific improvements that you need to make. So Martha, that's the best way to consistently get my feedback is in the program. Okay, I might do something like this, not on YouTube, but elsewhere in due course. I don't have any plans for it right away because I'm really 100% focused on the program and getting my clients great results. Okay, does that help? So, Anglophobia says, you want to hug me? How fast can you reach London and meet you? Well, it depends where you are in the world, Anglophobia. Are you in, if you're in Scotland, then it's quite easy. If you're in Australia, it might be take a little bit longer. Giovanni said, learning pronunciation is helping me to be more relaxed whilst using your English. Good. And that was and is the main problem because I'm not smooth when I speak. I started mastering it last year. Giovanni, I remember when I started seeing your comments. So you've been doing it consistently now for a year, haven't you? And you're not alone, Giovanni, and it's not your fault either. I think everyone that I've ever worked with in my pronunciation coaching program either got taught English at school without pronunciation, which is what happens to most people, or they taught English to themselves, but they also didn't learn it without pronunciation, which is exactly what I did with Portuguese. So that's the challenge that most of us language learners face. And then that's why what we're doing these days is just then taking what we've already learned and then polishing it and making it much easier to speak and much more clearly when we speak, so that we have the confidence that we want when we're speaking English or any other language. So yeah, completely agree, and well done for your progress, Giovanni. I hope you're really pleased with all the progress that you've made. Excellent, cool. Right, everyone, I'm going to call it a day there. If you want to get my help on your pronunciation and master your pronunciation step by step, you want to build a native English speaking operating system so that you speak English like a native, and then step by step overcome all of the challenging English pronunciation difficulties that are currently affecting your confidence and stopping you from speaking clearly, head to the British Accent program today. There's bonuses. I've put special bonuses in there because it's January. You've got a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. Okay, If you're not happy, all you need to do is send me an email and I'll send you your money back right away, because I want a 100% satisfaction rate and success rate with anyone that joins my program, okay? What we've looked at today is the word technique, how to stop thinking in terms of individual words in English and start thinking in phrases and ideas, which is how native speakers think about English and speak English. And then I've shown you the 2 British accent method techniques that you can use to stop feeling like you're choking in English and pausing unnaturally, and quickly remove your pauses and start speaking smoothly and naturally, just like a native would. And the 2 techniques that we use to do that are the whispering technique and the singing technique, okay? If you've just joined this pronunciation coaching session now and you've missed the beginning, go back and watch it from the beginning. I've given you stuff I've never ever taught before on YouTube today, because I really want you to get 2022 off to the best year start and make this the year that you achieve your confidence and communication goals in English. So go back and watch this from the start. And then if you're serious about transforming your pronunciation and creating a breakthrough in your confidence in just the next 30 days, head to britishaccentmethod.com/program. Everything you need is there to get started. And I cannot wait to be working with you in my program. I'm fighting for your confidence in English. Thanks for joining me here today, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone, and have a great, very, very happy and successful 2022. Let's make this year the best year yet.